So, a special podcast today. It's the first episode with one of my investors and channel partners here. Before I had all the podcasts with CEOs and entrepreneurs in the Dubai real estate market. So it's something new for the DubaiView podcast today. I want to represent Immanuel Eziekiel. It's a pleasure for having you here.
Thank you for having me.
I saw you had an insane journey. So I want to start to talk about your journey. So you are more than 25 years in the UK real estate market. How I could see you entered the school with 16, what is absolutely fantastic because you built your wealth and all your entrepreneur knowledge and how to become an entrepreneur by yourself. So I guess you can give a lot of insights, the listeners today, how you built a portfolio in 25 years for more than 100 units in UK. Plus, you are an author. I saw you launched 2 books. One of the books is 6 Steps to Financial Freedom. And that gave you the opportunity to be as well in Rich House, Poor House. So please introduce yourself and let me know how your journey began into the real estate market.
So I did leave school at the age of 16 without any qualifications. And in school, they measure people by one matrix alone, which is education in terms of qualifications. Not everybody is studious enough to be academic. I wasn't academic. I was more a personable person. And I left school with my teacher telling me that I'd be a failure all my life. I think that was the motivation that I needed to prove him wrong. So I started off life on a building site as a heating and ventilating engineer on a building site, learning my trade. I realized very quickly that it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I wasn't somebody that was good with my hands. I was better with my brain and my mouth. And I started learning and self-educating myself with different self-help books, going to seminars. I met somebody at my local synagogue that had already 200 properties. And instead of thinking, or being jealous, how is that possible? How could he do that? So I started going on different journeys. I got into sales. I was very good at sales. And when you work with people and learning at the same time, I became a heating and ventilating salesman because I already understood that profession. I went from there and I joined a company that was selling furniture. They were called Sharp's Bedrooms. They wanted to launch into Europe. They made me a franchisee. They didn't realize how lucrative the terms were that I negotiated. It was a very rewarding time. I had a franchise for 5 years. They wanted to cancel the franchise after 5 years because it was so rewarding. I took them to court. I had an insurance policy that allowed me to do that. I got a further extension, and that gave me the platform for investing. So I always knew that business was going to come to an end, so I had to find something else. I didn't have a pension. So in the UK, you either have the government that create your pension, or you create a private pension. I wanted to create my own. Real estate was something I wanted to participate in. So like most uneducated property investors at the time, I used the cash that I had. I bought 2 properties. And at the time, I didn't realize what I was buying. I bought from a developer that was finishing a development. It was their last 2 properties. They needed to sell it. I negotiated a good discount and I ran out of money. I thought, well, this is a good investment, but how do I buy more with the little amount of money I had available? So learning the process and understanding finance started making it easier for me to use creative ways to purchase property. Then at the same time, I was approached by another sales company. There was a company coming over from Australia that had a new way of doing mortgages. Back then, mortgages and interest were calculated annually in arrears. They were a new company that were doing interest on a daily basis, which doesn't seem a lot of a difference. And they also had a mortgage bank account linked to the mortgage. So if you had £100,000 mortgage and you had £10,000 in your bank account, you would only pay interest on the difference of the 90,000. That in itself didn't seem a lot, but they had a very sophisticated calculator. I spent 6 weeks learning how to manipulate that calculator, manipulate finance, and I became the world authority on that particular calculator. That company that came over from Australia was called First Active. Today, that company is called Virgin Money. Everybody knows who Virgin Money is. And that was a catalyst for me to create my own mortgage business. And on the back of that, learning creativity and how to manipulate money, finance mortgages, together with property and how to purchase at below market value, helping my clients purchase properties. We built huge portfolios for our clients. So over that period of about 10 years, I not only purchased hundreds of properties, I accumulated my own properties at the same time, using little or no money of my own at the time. Very creative time. Don't have those same opportunities now as you did then, but it was a very lucrative time.
That's insane. So going 25 years back to being now that entrepreneur and that man who you are now. So how was the journey to get that 100 properties? Can you give some insights, the listeners, if it's still possible in UK to do it? Or why it take you now the step to move to Dubai and building a portfolio there as well? Because insane to have a multi-million pounds values on properties is something who you can be proud of.
So property for me is stock, like a shop or any business. Sometimes the stock that you have needs to be sold or needs to be replaced. And sometimes it needs to be sold or replaced in another area or another country. So I've been looking at Dubai because the UK market isn't what it used to be. It's not as lucrative as it used to be. And more importantly, the economic climate, the political climate isn't conducive for entrepreneurs as it used to be. There's so much rules and regulations. As a property investor in the UK, it's becoming very difficult to operate as a business. So I've been looking for the last few years as where I can start investing. I'm also a property developer. So besides investing, I develop my own properties. But to keep your properties now and the legislation that you have and the profit that you make with the amount of tax that you have to pay doesn't make it rewarding. And that's why lots of people like myself are looking at places like Dubai, because they're encouraging investment. Making money is not a dirty word. Being successful is looked highly upon as opposed to frowned upon in the UK. So it's a very different marketplace. And I've been here for a few weeks this time, and every time I come, I just become more encouraged about how business is operated here.
That's true. So as well, everyone knows currently we have a lot of UK peoples, not just UK peoples, but already I guess 30% of the people from UK moved or invest in Dubai. So can you give me 3 points why it's lucrative to invest in Dubai? What engaged you to say, hey, this is exactly that 3 points why it's lucrative for me to invest in Dubai?
So it's lucrative for me to invest in Dubai either through myself or through family members because, one, the tax position. So if you work and live here personally, you pay no tax. That's very attractive. If you have a business, instead of paying corporation tax, you pay a flat rate of tax of 10%. In addition to that, if you set up your company correctly, there's ways to minimize that tax altogether. So in terms of how much money you have available that you keep, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep and how much money you can reinvest. In the UK, they take a lot of the money that you make, so you have less money to keep and less money to reinvest. And the speed of transactions here is insane. You can purchase a property literally in days, sometimes even on the same day if you get the paperwork correctly. And everybody's working to facilitate that together. Trying to buy a property in the UK with all the hoops that you have to jump through makes it very difficult to plan properly anymore.
I totally agree with you. So now we had as well our journey. So let's start to talk why you are deciding that I am the right agent for you and how it comes that you're saying I want to go the way with you and with DubaiView.
Okay, so as you know, I am quite analytical. I ask a lot of questions. There's a saying, trust no one, believe no one, verify everything yourself. So that stood me in good stead in business. And when you come to Dubai, there are so many brokers or agents. I think there's about 16,000 registered and about 80,000 in total unregistered. So you're looking as a percentage of population, 2% of the population are involved in real estate.
It's insane, yes.
Compared to the UK, which is 0.2. So everybody is here just to see you as money for them. I wanted to work with somebody that I could build a relationship that understood who I was, what I wanted, so I can do multiple transactions, not just one, and it's not a one-time ticket. It's about building a relationship, not just for me, but the people that are connected to me, because I've built a reputation over a very long time. People know that when I look into something, especially around property and finance and how to do things legally the right way, that they'll get the right advice. They won't get bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit out here.
Yes.
There's a lot of agents that tell you that you're going to make money. It's going to be easy. And things can be easy if you know who to tap into. Buying a property is only one part of the process. There's so many other aspects, and people get caught up. I was talking to you earlier, but this sometimes feels like the gold rush. The gold rush days where people are running for the actual gold, and most people lost money. When you see a launch of property here that might be 2,000 or 3,000 units, and they're selling 2,000 in one day, that feels like gold rush. So you have to be very choosy of what development you buy, the area you buy, and the developer that you buy with. And then you have different aspects depending on the payment plan. And the payment plan varies here quite differently. And you can make more money by putting down less at certain times and also having a broker. So one of the other reasons why I've worked with you is that you have a very big investor network, and you can negotiate discounts that we can piggyback on to jump on from your other investors. So buying a property at below market value, which is how you make money in property, is not when you sell, it's when you buy. If you buy right, you make money, and when you sell, you should make more money, but you have to buy right at the first time. So having, and working with you over the last couple of weeks and seeing not just your connections in the developers, but your other connections around properties, making it much easier to understand how the market's working here. For me to verify it, as I said, no, trust no one, believe no one, verify everything yourself. That's a process that I've been working with. And you spend a lot of time with me. You didn't need to spend this amount of time with me. I'm sure you could have spent your time elsewhere, but it feels like you want to build a long-term relationship with me and with Ranjan as well. So we've both invested time because we want this relationship to grow rather than just a one sale.
Totally agree. And I saw it as well, how you said, you came first, then afterwards came Ranjan. And I guess this is what makes different and what I can advise as well other realtors here. It's not just going into a developer, showing a project, telling the payment plan, and then pushing the investors and saying, hey, in one day, the building is sold out, you have to buy now, you have to purchase now the property, you have to give the investor as well the feeling he's in the safe hand. And let him understand the Dubai real estate market, because a lot of people, what they forgot, yes, I'm living here and I know the market, but for people who's coming from outwards, they need the knowledge, they don't have the knowledge. And I guess we was running around, first of all, we qualified the developers. So this is the most important thing, that as well a real estate company is not working with all the developers, that they qualify the developers and they're saying, okay, what is important to don't lose my name? The developer need a good quality. The developer had to hand over the project on the right time without 12 months or 18-month delays. Then, of course, the location. Then which locations are as well under developing, because unfortunately the name is saying normally you should invest where the blood is going into the earth, and the same is now for the new developed areas. So I guess the first 5 days we just was spending about checking the developers, finding the right project for you, finding the right square feet price, checking the locations. I guess we was around whole Dubai, and then afterwards we made our decisions.
Yeah, I'd probably say I'm a more difficult customer or client than most of your clients because I have a lot of experience back in the UK and I'm bringing that knowledge and information here. So having a broker that understands that they're dealing with somebody that has that knowledge and experience, and it's more than that. So the Dubai market is even more than that. It's not just the development, it's the floor, it's the view, it's the layout. There are so many different facets. And if you don't understand the marketplace, and you have been very patient, we've gone through different projects, different development. You know, we've bought 5 properties in one project with you. 6 in one project with you. And that took time, coordination, the right floor, the right sequence, the right pricing, the right payment plan. And that wasn't easy on your part to give everything that we actually wanted, part of the negotiation, the discount and the actual price. And also hearing when we went to other projects and other development is when the developer or the sales agent was trying to steer us in a certain direction that you didn't take on board. You came in and you conflicted with them to help us as an investor get the right product, the right property that we wanted. So a lot of those things are really important. And I can't emphasize how important that is. Even if it meant me paying a little bit more, it would be worth that for that knowledge and that advice to get the right property for me. And we all have different investment strategies. People sometimes invest just for yield. So the amount of rent they get against the property. Some people want appreciation. Some people want to flip. And I want to do all of those things. But understanding the different properties and the different developers that you can flip, the ones that are more likely that you can make. And, you know, we discussed a few of the times where people think that you buy a property and just before handover, you can flip it. And if you've got a project that's got 3,000 units being built and 1,500 or 2,000 are coming on the market at the same time, are you going to make money? Unlikely. So this different part of the timing and having that ability to build that knowledge over time, build that relationship has been really important.
And this is what the investors have to consider as well, because a lot of investors are thinking, hey, why I need a realtor? I can go straight away to the developer and I can purchase it, but you made your own experience, what sometimes the developer as well are saying. So there's much more than just the product, what they know. The developer or the sales managers who's just working for the developer, they just want to sell that type of product, but they don't know anything about other developers, about other square feet prices and what you are looking for. And a lot of investors are forgetting, if you're buying straight away with the investor, it's not just buying the house or buying the apartment, it's as well renting it out. So you need someone who is reselling it. So that's why the investors have to consider as well to find the right, let's say, agent or advisor who's going with them through all that process. But now, how you say, you guys bought 6 apartments. So compared now to 100 units, what you already created in UK, what is your plan in Dubai? How big or which type of portfolio you want to build in Dubai, and what is your strategy?
That's a big question. So the UK market, it's still much easier for someone of my age to transact creatively in terms of finance. So mortgages or debt. So leverage and gearing. So for people that don't understand what I mean, if you buy a property for £200,000, let's keep it in pounds rather than dirhams. It's easier for people to relate to, or dollars. In the UK, you can typically borrow against the rental income at 75% of the value. So if it's 200,000, you put 50,000 down, you can borrow 150,000. So you can buy multiple properties. If I have £200,000, I can buy 4 properties, which is 800,000, compared to just one property at 200,000 by using mortgage and debt. Mortgages in Dubai currently, and that's part of my research that I'm doing, and that's why I'm spending so much time here, is finding out the best way for people coming from the UK of how they can invest and use financial instruments like a mortgage correctly to do leverage and gearing. And that allows people to buy more here. So yes, if I can find a system here that allows me to do the same thing, I'll be buying multiple properties here because 1, it's much easier to purchase. 2, as an investor and as a landlord, there's more protection for me as a business owner, as a landlord, than there is in the UK. In the UK, if the tenants don't pay, it can take me up to 18 months to get them evicted. Over here, your tenants pay checks either a yearly in advance, or they give you 2 checks, or they pay or they pay monthly, and each one has a different rate. So in terms of a business, as you know, as a property investor, it's a business. In Dubai, you can operate as a business. In the UK, you can't operate the same way in a business. So yes, I'm looking to purchase multiple properties. I'm also looking to help the investors that I know diversify their portfolio so they have the ability to earn money simultaneously in 2 different countries if they so wish. And there is a lucrative market here if you're working with the right people. And just going back to who you are, I have been with other brokers because you have to compare apples with apples to see the difference and what the various, and you know, I can have that judgment by speaking to other brokers here from different countries, different nationalities. And you know, you're German, you're very straight, you're very methodical, you're very precise, and I like that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. So, but coming back to the leveraging, I guess we have a lot of opportunities to leverage as well here. Of course, it's depending on age as well on the mortgage, how old you are. The nice thing, what I see in Dubai as well, that they are giving mortgages for people as well who's not living or they are not resident in the Dubai market. So, for example, if there is someone in UK who have a good income out of it and he want to purchase a secondary market unit, then he have the possibility to mortgage that property with 60% finance from the bank, 40% is the own equity. If he have a golden visa or if he is a resident, we can do it as well for 80%, what is covering the bank, and 20% is the own equity. So there's multiple way how you can gamble and play. I say every time here, Dubai currently is the 18th in Germany. So 18th was the best times in Germany. Everyone was making money. And I guess this is giving us a lot of advantage because UK, we grow up with taxations. German, we grow up with taxation. For Dubai, it's now new to pay 9% of taxes for an LLC or for a company. So I guess we have a different type of way how to handle this type of things and creating something nice for the investors out of it. And maybe you can explain as well the audience, what is your mission with DubaiView together and how you guys want to help or how we want to help the people in UK to gain a nice portfolio, what you already have in UK.
Yeah, so my mission, as well as Ranjan, is we want to make it easy for UK investors who want to invest in Dubai, either remotely or coming here, to understand the market and do it properly. There are so many things you have to learn before you invest here. Even with the mortgages, although you can get mortgages, it does depend on your age. So there's lots of people that we know that are in their latter careers. They've built their portfolio, they've got a lot of money in their properties, but they're older and getting a mortgage. So I'm at that level where it's the most difficult to get a mortgage in Dubai. I'm going to be 63 at my next birthday.
No one will believe it here if they see you.
And thank you. And if I buy something off plan that's going to be delivered in 12, 18 months time, I'm going to be almost 65. And the maximum limit in Dubai is 65 to 70 to get a mortgage. So I'm looking at ways and exploring to allow more people to invest, including myself, because I want to buy more here. And I will find a way of how to do that to allow people to invest more in Dubai. It's a very lucrative market and there's many assets or facets to it. So you've got the off-plan market, which is very different to the UK's. When we used to buy, or when we buy off-plan, in the UK, you only have to put 5% down. You can then get a mortgage at the end at 75%. If you're a homeowner, you still put 5% down and you can get up to 95% mortgage. So the amount of money you have to put down is much less. So Dubai is different. And
so it means if I want to purchase a property in UK and it's still under construction, I put 5% and then I'm waiting till the handover, and on the handover I take the mortgage.
Correct.
So then for the developer who is constructing it, it means you have to go an upfront payment.
Yeah. So in the UK, the onus and the most amount of risk is put on the developer. So the developer has to pay for everything, take the finance on it. And at the end of it, they make the sale. In Dubai, it's completely different. So although the money is put into escrow, so a lot of people don't realize that the deposit you put into escrow is protected by the government. It's there for your protection. So if the developer can't complete, which used to happen in Dubai, the government will then appoint somebody else to finish off the development for you, which is very safe right now.
Yes.
But what people don't, what people don't also realize is the developer themselves in Dubai have to place 40% of the actual build against in an escrow to protect the investment, which is very different. So the whole market, everything is different. So you can't compare apples with apples. It's a completely different marketplace, and you have to understand it. And that won't happen when people come here for a week or a weekend. They have to have the professional team. It's your team that you have that will allow you to invest the safest way and the best way in Dubai.
Totally agree.
That's why we're building this team, and you're part of that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be part of it and looking forward to navigate the UK investors here in the Dubai real estate market. And I guess it will be a very, very nice thing because, how I say it, a lot of UK people currently living in Dubai, or if I'm walking through Dubai, I'm just listening German people talking or UK people talking, because UK people, the accent is totally different. And I guess it's something what is not existing currently in Dubai to make, let's say, once a month a trip to Dubai, let's say 5 days, just to give the investors a knowledge about the developers, which are good developers, which are not good developers, which developer have a good name for building communities, but which developer have a good name for the construction site, what are projects to generate a good yield, what are projects to hold, what are good projects for end users, which type of projects are really flipping projects, because this is what we're currently facing in Dubai, who I'm saying every time, who people have to take care if you're investing in a master community. How you say there are 3,000, 5,000 units inside, and someone is promising you can resell it by 40% or you can resell it by 60%. And then a lot of investors are not thinking more with their mind. They're just thinking about, I just need 40% or just 60%. And afterwards I get a capital appreciation out of 30 to 40%. This is the time who the people or investors break their neck. And this is how bad reputation is coming to Dubai. Because yes, how you said before, unfortunately we have a lot of realtors here, or as well developers who are going through the interests for their commission and not through the interests through the investors. And I guess this is very payable to come to Dubai, making a course like that, getting the knowledge about the Dubai market, that is not happening, because now a lot of distressed deals are ongoing in the Dubai market because the investors don't have more than 40% to pay to the developer. And I guess this will be a very nice program or project what you guys are looking for, and I'm into it and giving you 100% of my support.
Yeah, there's a few other reasons that we've done business with you, because every time we're talking, something else comes up in my head. Yeah. So when we were buying the units, one of the things that Brandon and I both liked about you is you're not just a broker or a consultant, you're also a property investor. So you also have an investor mindset. You're also investing in this marketplace. You're also buying to hold. You're also buying to flip. You're also buying to renovate. And when we were buying in the development that we were buying, which was a Bengati development, you decided to buy one as well.
Yep.
That shows your real commitment, shows that you also believe in that project and development as well. And that's how we want to work with people that are invested in the marketplace in the same way, that will put their money where their mouth is as well. So yeah, it's having all of those different aspects. So when we come out here, we will build a team of professionals. You know, I've been taught and helped and mentored by people like Tony Robbins, and he says, model success. Find people who are already successful in any area of your life. find out what they do and how they do it, and you'll accelerate your journey. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to accelerate people's journey by giving them the knowledge and the information and the right team so they can make the right decision and not make mistakes, because you can make costly mistakes here. Dubai is the Wild West in the real estate, but having the right people and the right team, you can make significant returns on your capital.
I totally agree. So, but coming now to the end and don't giving too much information now the listeners. So we wanted they're following up and seeing what's going on with our new heart project, let's say like this. So coming back to your books, because you're as well an author and the angel investor. So, but coming back to your books, the 6 steps to financial freedom. Can you give me in 60 seconds a blueprint? What are the 6 steps to financial freedom?
The blueprint to 6 steps to financial freedom is to eliminate bad debt, have good debt, so you can invest your money. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep and then how much money you reinvest. And over time, the compound effect will allow you to accumulate serious wealth. But in the UK, everything is designed for you to be in debt for as long as possible. The book shows people how to get out of debt as quickly as possible without earning any more money by using principles and formulas that I've created to eliminate their debt as fast as possible.
Wow. Thank you so much, Immanuel, for having you here. It's a pleasure. And hopefully we'll have the second podcast as well with Ranjan. Sometimes we had the name here in the podcast that the people get introduced as well about Ranjan. And I'm excited to have the journey with you, boss.
We're also very excited. And Ranjan is a YouTube superstar. So when he comes here, I'm sure it will just explode. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.